Hello and how are you? My name is Muhindo Mubarak and I welcome you to our 15th lecture of Mastering Flutter User Interfaces. In this lecture, we are going to proceed from the previous lecture whereby we are going to design a sectioned list, a list like this one which has some sections. Like you see here, we have January, and then the records of January, and here we have February, something like that. So you can be able to use this in your different kind of application. This is the list that you're going to do that we're going to design in this session. As you know, we always do 40 minutes, so I'll go ahead and set our timer, and then we go straight into our today's business. So as I told you, one of the powerful thing in mobile application development or in development is having ability to reuse your code in different ways. Okay, so in the previous lecture we designed a list and we achieved something like this one. Okay, but it did not have sections. So in this lecture we're just going to duplicate this one, and then we see how we can add the logic of section, so we get that experience of learning how you can reuse your own code. Okay, so with that much said, let's go ahead and start doing, and you see how it is very effective and simple. Okay, so with that much said, this is the list that we designed. So we want to design something like this, okay, which has sections. So that much said, let's go straight into into the business and start implementing. So as you can see, I've already launched the application. This is the list that we designed the previous lecture. So if you didn't watch the previous lecture, I recommend you to watch the previous video so you can be on the same level with us. Okay, so this is what we designed in the previous video. So what you're going to do right now, we are going to go to our main screen here and add this sectioned lists here. Okay, so let's go ahead and navigate to our main route or the main screen, and then in here we're going to duplicate and add what you call sectioned lists. Okay, so sectioned lists. So in this section lists is where we're going to have now the list of sections. Okay, so as I've told you, we're going to duplicate the list that we already have. Instead of us creating another fresh thing, we're just going to duplicate this one, as you get that experience of the power of knowledge of how to reuse your own code. And we're going to see how it is very much effective. It took us 40 minutes to design this, so let us see how it can take us to replicate it and modify it. Okay, and that's the power of mobile application designing or the power of programming. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to press Ctrl and I go to this list basic screen. Okay, press Ctrl and click on it. This is the screen. I'm going just to duplicate it. This is the one. So I'm going to call this one list section or sectioned. Okay, so I'll go ahead and press Alt and Enter to rename. Okay, so I'll just copy this name of this screen, press copy it, and then press Ctrl and press Alt and Enter so I can be able to rename the whole of it. Okay, so I can call this one list sectioned instead of basic sectioned, so I can call it maybe screen. Okay, so it can be list sectioned screen. Okay, I can come and change here to sectioned list, the title. So after doing that, I'm going to copy this list sectioned screen and put it in the main controller, or in the main route, so I can be able to be navigating to there. So I'll copy that name and then come here, then come to our main route, which is this one, and then change this one to list sectioned screen and press Alt and Enter to import it. So no audio, oh sorry. Alright, so I hope you can hear me now. So I have just done I've just duplicated the other section, and then after duplicating it, I did I just duplicate the other section, and then after another screen, after duplicating it, I just create a second section. You'll watch in the video what I've done. Okay, so this is the same section but different classes. You can see here we have now two classes. Okay, we have two classes. One's called section list and one's called basic list. They are the same exactly, but only this one has a different name of the class and has a different title, but they're exactly the same. Okay, so I've just come and import this one, this section list, this class here. I've come and put it here on the our main menu. That's someone should be able to click there and they go to that list. So now when you click on this section list, you're able to do what? To go to the section list. Okay, when I go back, I click here, I'm able to see go to the basic list. So let's go to the section list. So the section list is exactly the same, but the difference is the adapter. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to duplicate the adapter, because almost the logic is the same. As you can see here, the logic is the same, but the only thing, this one has sectioned. So we're going to duplicate the adapter of section list and of the adapter of basic list and create it, and it's same adapter but section list. And then you go ahead and add these small changes that this one will have what? A logic of sections. Alright, so after doing that, let's see what we're going to do next. We're going to go ahead and come here to list section, adapter, okay. So let's go ahead and duplicate the adapter, because what makes them the same is just the what? The adapter. So we're going to duplicate the adapter of basic and then create a one for the what? For the section. So I'll just simply come here, the list section user screen, which is this one. Okay, then I press Alt and press Control. Press Control and click on it. Take me to this basic adapter. You saw how we designed this adapter. I hope you still remember. So we're going to go ahead and duplicate it and then call this one list what? List section adapter. That's the name of what? Of our adapter. List section adapter. Alright, so I'll go ahead and rename the name of this adapter. So I'll just simply press here, Ctrl F. I copy this name, separate Ctrl F, and then press Alt and Enter so I can rename. And then I paste there the new name, which is list section adapter. Okay, so that's the new class of our what? Of our section adapter. So let's go ahead and implement this adapter on our what? On our screen. So I'll come to our list section screen. Instead of having list basic adapter, we're going to put what? List section adapter. Okay, so that is what we have now right now. Okay, now we are fetching this data from the what? From the list section. So this list section adapter is the one that we're going to modify. Okay, so let me show you the changes that we have in the section adapter that I created before, and then we implement them in this one. So in this list section adapter, the main section here, so you have items, same function, okay, same on click method, okay, and then same index. So here we are adding the items, okay, I'll show you this clearly. I want to explain it clearly so you can understand. Show here section. I just want to modify the one that we have without creating it from scratch. Right, I'll take it step by step. So this is our list section screen. Where is it? I'll take you for the screen first so it shouldn't confuse you. All right, let me close everything and then I explain everything. I don't want to confuse you. So this is our let me close everything. All right, so go to our main route. This is the main route, and then we go to our list section, which is this one, the list section screen. Okay, so let me also take you there step by step. So list section screen, come to our list section. Okay, so we begin with adding there the data. Okay, so we begin with by adding there the data. So we get the context. Okay, after getting the context, we get the list of people. Okay, we get the list of people. We already have the list of people. Okay, after getting the list of people, we add there some more people. We already have this. Okay, after adding there some more people, maybe you can shuffle if you want. Then the next thing you have, you can select. You can create the what? The section count. Okay, and then the section indexes. Okay, so that we should be able to add these sections like the way you see here. So this can be your different kind of logic. Okay, so let's go ahead and create those two sections. So I'll come here after adding the items. I'm going to have two variables here. One's called section count, another is called section index. Okay, so we have those ones. Okay, so after you're going to create what we call get months. We're going to get the months. Okay, so this is also in the dummy data. So these are the months. Okay, like you can have January, February, March up to December. Okay, this is a generator that will generate for you the months. Okay, so we get the months and then put them in this variable called months, and it's just a string that's had these months. Okay, then after doing that, the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to do what? We're going to loop. Okay, we're going to loop into those months, and you divide the list by 2. By 6. So after 6 items, you should be able to do what? To add there a single month. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we create that what? We create that method. You create that section, which is going to be for each loop. Okay, and then you say I is less than the items length divided by 6. So it's going to divide it by what? By 6 times, and then say I plus plus. So every time it loops, we get items.insert. So this item.insert is a what? It is just a Flutter function. It's a dat function. So every after 6 items, you see, it's going to loop 6 times. It's going to divide these items and divide them by 6 times. So every after 6 sections, okay, after 6 sections, it's going to insert, and what's going to insert there in that item is going to insert there. So again, say after this section count, which is going to be dividing by 5 by 6, is going to insert in that section, is going to insert new, and then you say people.section. So this people.section is a method that is already in our class of section. Let me show it to you. It is here. In the class of people, it is here. It is just a method or a constructor that is taking the name, and then it is taking the section. This is the second constructor. See here we have two constructors. One constructor is of a people, the normal one that will take the person's information. Then the second constructor is the one of a section. So if I want to create a section, you just simply say people.what the section, you pass the name of the section, and then you set the section to be true. So this is what we are doing here. So we say after 6 items, it should go ahead and insert people.section, then it pass the month name. You see, it pass the month name, and then it says the section to be true. Okay, then after you say section, and then you say the section plus 5, so you should be able to do what, to add other 5 steps, and then you say section id plus plus. So don't mind about this. This is just a generation of what, of data. It is just generation of what, of data. Then after doing that, it means that we'll have inserted a section in every what, in every after 6 items. Okay, so after doing that, of course, you're going to get an error in case you don't want, in case you don't check if an item is a section. For example, you want to try to find an image will be null if you don't check if an item is a what, is a section. So it means that in this adapter, we're going to be carefully checking if an item is a section, and we display the relevant what, the relevant information, the relevant section user interface, other than just go ahead and display things without checking as how it was doing. So after generating the data, okay, this is just nothing but what, but data in your what, in your dummy data. Okay, so let's go ahead and see the list section adapter. It's going to be exactly the same, but only here we are checking, we're going to be, so here we're coming here, we create the items. All right, we create the items. After creating the items, add them there. Okay, so here we create the add what, the, so here we create the on click listener, and then after we create the add item. So add item, we just be passing on the click, and then here I want to show you where we're going to check if there's a section. Okay, so here on build, okay, here on the widget, let me show you. So let's go to our list section adapter. Here when you're displaying here, exactly here, this is where we're going to first check, is this item a section? So if it is a section, you have to return a relevant what, a relevant widget, which is going to be padding and okay, let me show you. So we're going to check before we return the inkwell on top and then display the images. We're just going to come here and check if is what, if is a section. So I'm going to say if object is section. Okay, so if it is true, we are going to just return our what, our section user interface. Okay, so by doing like this, we'll be able to have the section, you see. So if it is a section, we are going to return some padding. So we're going to return padding. Okay, and then we are going to return edge insets of symmetric, vertical 15 and horizontal 18. Okay, and then we're going to give this padding a child of a text. Like this. So by doing like that, this is just you can pause the video and see it. So I'll check if it is a section, I just return. If it is not a section, then I put everything with the click listener. So by doing like this, we'll have achieved what we wanted. So you can see it did not take us even more than 10 minutes to come up with something that we did in 40 minutes. You see, something that is complex. So that's it. That's what you call reusing your code. Once you get that experience, then it will be very simple for you to do what? To reuse your code. Okay, you see, I just copy and duplicate, and we have exactly the same results. So that's how you can display something with different sections. You see, you have different months with different users separated in them. So that's how you do the sectioned list. Okay, so you can pause the video and follow step by step and make sure that you understand. Okay, don't worry about the data generation because this is just dummy, but you're going to do the real world data. We'll have to find another separate way of how we can get the data on our system and then you're able to do what? To generate it. Okay, I hope you can see that. It's beautiful. Okay, all right, so let's proceed. Okay, let's proceed. All right, so right now we're going to look at another thing. So I've finished the section list. Let us go ahead and look at how we can do the expanded list. Okay, the expanded list, so we can have something and expand, and then you see the details. All right, let's go ahead and do that expanded list. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So what we're going to do, again, we're going to reuse our first basic list. In from there, instead of just displaying the whole name, we're going to put the logic of someone being able to do what? To expand an item, and then we achieve something like this. Okay, this is what we're going to do right now. So this is what we're going to do right now. Let's go ahead and implement that. All right, yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to we're going to duplicate our basic list. This basic list, we're going to duplicate it. So we should have expanded list. So we'll come to our basic list screen, which is going to be here under screens, the basic list, which is here. Okay, so I'll copy it and then paste it. I'm going to call it list expand or expanded. List expanded. All right. Okay, so I'm going to come here. So this is our new screen. So I'm going to come here, copy this, and then press Alt and Enter. And then instead of having the word basic, I'm going to put here list expanded screen, like this. Okay, so this one is going to be having the logic of what? Of expanded. Then I'm going to come here and change the title to expanded. Okay, so after doing that, we're going to add this expanded list to our what? To our main screen. So I'll come back here and then come to our main route, which is this one, and then I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to call this one expanded, and we'll call it expanded lists or list. Okay, so when someone clicks here, should be able to get to see expanded list or expand list. So we are where we are. So when I click there, I'm able to see expand list. Now we're going to do the whole logic of the adapter in a way that this list should be what? Should be expanded. So you can watch the previous lecture where we discussed how to create this list from scratch. So this one is an extension of the previous lecture. Okay, and I've shown you how you can duplicate things. So let's go ahead and proceed to expand list screen, which is this one. So the data generation and everything is going to be exactly the same. The only difference is going to be in the what? In the adapter. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll come here to list expanded, so I can just simply come to our expanded adapter. And to get here the adapter, expand. It's here. Alright. So we're going to go through this adapter step by step, and I show you how I can implement the expand. Alright, so let's go ahead and create our second adapter. So this is the basic adapter. I'm going to go to it and duplicate it, and so we can create what? The expand adapter. So I'll press Ctrl and click on it so we can reach that adapter of basic. So I'm going to copy this adapter and create list expand adapter. All right, so after doing that, press Ctrl F, Alt and Enter, and then we'll have list expander what? Expand adapter. So let's go ahead and implement this list expand adapter in this list expanded screen. This is a list expanded screen. You can see it here. Then I'll go ahead and put here, and then press Alt and Enter so it can be imported. There we go. So it has been imported. Now what's remaining is just adding that logic for this single item to be expanded. So I'll press Ctrl and click on it, okay, to go to the adapter. So this is our adapter for the expanding. So the whole logic is here in the widget. okay, in this widget. So in this widget, instead of just returning back, let us go ahead and should we destroy the whole widget, or we can just use the okay, let's destroy the whole widget and redesign the widget that will be having ability to expand. Okay, let's go ahead and destroy the widget. So I'll come here to our widget, remove everything, just simply text item. So there we go. Okay, so I'm going to remove everything, and then we start designing one which has an expanded feature. So the first thing we're going to return a column, because we're going to have this item that will be responsible for expanding. So we're going to return a column. So return column, and going to have children. So the first child is going to be expansion tile. So expansion tile is a Flutter widget. Okay, and then this expansion tile, it will take what we call title. Okay, so the title is let me put this one here. The title is what you want to show at first. So let's go ahead and put the title. So the title is going to be the name of a person, right? And then it's going to be a widget of the name of a person, which is the text, and also we style it in this way. So by doing like this, you'll see we'll have the item with the what? With the title. So Flutter gives you that beautiful thing. You can see. Hope you can see that. Okay. So this expand tile, it has another item called leading. So leading is an item that you want to display here at beginning. So at beginning, we just need to display the what? The image of the person. Okay. So this can be your different kind of user interface. So at leading, you display the what? The image. You see this, you know how to display the image, have been displaying it. So by doing like that, you'll have that beautiful thing. Hope you can see that. So you see, so now we need to put now the content that should be toggled, expand and collapse. Okay, so we go ahead and pass the key. The key is going to be is the one that will make this item to be unique. So the key is going to be index, because our index is unique. Okay, so that is going to be our key. All right, now after passing the key, the next thing we're going to pass is now the what? The children. The children is the content in the expansion that will be expanded. So you can pass there multiple children that should be hidden and displayed when someone clicks on the expand feature. So we're going to pass here children. So you can come here and put children. So inside this children we are going to put a what? A lorem. So I just copy this and then just put the lorem ipsum. So come here and you can see for the colors. So this, I just give the container a background color of gray, so it should be a little bit different from the background. And then I import my what? My lorem ipsum, and I style it like this. Okay, I hope you can see that. So I save, and there we go. Boom. See, I'm able to expand and I see the content. That is so beautiful. I'm able to collapse, I'm able to expand, I'm able to collapse, I'm able to collapse. That is so beautiful. I hope you can see that. Okay, I hope you can see that. That is so beautiful, isn't it? It is beautiful. Okay, so that is nice. So go ahead and challenge yourself and do it. All right, so let's go ahead. So that's the power of reusing your code. Imagine we have done something twice compared to the other first video where we originally created the code. And that's the power of having the knowledge and experience. Once you have knowledge and experience, you will keep on becoming like very powerful things that people can do in 5 days, for you able to do them in 2 hours. But to get that knowledge and experience, it needs you time and practice and resilience in order to reach that level. Okay, so invest your time, don't regret. You'll definitely reach that level, because you can imagine if you didn't know this kind of technique before we started the video, but right now if you try it like 3 times, you'll know this technique. It will go in your head, and it will go in your head forever. When we reach the level of integrating now with web API, you will see that you put all these things together and be able to come up with amazing thing, and then you start earning money or making revenue on your own using your own brain. So I hope you've understood how we can do that and how it is achievable. All right, so try it out. Okay, try it out. Even though it is challenging, but you've seen I've successfully achieved it, so it means that you can also do what? Achieve it. All right, let's do the next thing. We're having 10 minutes, we can of course achieve the next item on the agenda. So we're going to see, we have finished expand. We're going to see how you can do a draggable list, something like this, where I can drag, okay, I can drag an item and rearrange it. Let's say that you will have a music player application and you want users maybe to organize their playlist by just drag and drop. So we're going to see how we can do something like this, okay, where I can do the draggable list. All right, let's go and do this. Let's just do this right now, okay? Let's just do this, okay? So we're going to duplicate again our main list view, and just will do what? We'll modify the what? The adapter, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do that. Right, so the first thing, you're going to create an item on the menu, okay, here, where I can be able to do what? To drag an item, okay? Let's go ahead and do that. So I come here to our main menu. Menu routes here. I'm going to come here and call this one draggable list. Draggable list, sorry, I have to change this. I'm just tapping it to other post conversation. All right, okay, so we're going to add the draggable list here, copy it, then put here draggable okay, there we go, a draggable list. Let's go ahead and duplicate our what? Our basic list. So this is our basic list. Okay, this basic list, I'm going to just duplicate it. So you see how we earn money. You do something only one time, and then the rest of your life you just duplicate and modify, and you collect money like nothing. So you just need this knowledge. A list draggable. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and Ctrl F, Alt and Enter, and say list draggable. I hope that's the spelling. And then list drag. I'll just come and see what the spelling I use. All right, list draggable screen, and then we come here and put here Okay, so after doing that, now we're going to add this screen into our what? Into our user interface. Okay, so that's the draggable list. Let's put on top there. There you go. So if someone clicks on this, should be taken to the what? To the draggable list item. Okay. So now we're going to do the logic of draggable list adapter. So the only thing we're going to do is to change the adapter. Okay. So everything is the same, but just changing the what? The adapter. Okay. We are here, right? So this is the draggable list screen. I'm going to come to its adapter, press Ctrl and click on it so you can be able to navigate to the adapter. This is the adapter. Okay. I'm just going to duplicate this adapter. Okay. So the basic adapter, this one here, and then I duplicate it. I'm going to call it list draggable adapter, and then press command copy this name, Ctrl F, Alt and enter to duplicate it. Okay, so after doing that, we come and register this adapter into the draggable list here. Press Alt and enter so it can be imported. Right, so now after we're going now to do the logic of what? Of the drag and dropping. I mean the dragging and drag and dropping in the what? In our list. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it step by step. Okay, so we're going to begin from the screen or from the user interface. Okay. Okay, so here we are. So the first thing that we do, we get the items. We already know how to get these items. Okay, we get the items. Okay, but the difference here right now, we don't want our items to be fluctuating every time. So what we're going to do, we're going to get these items only one time and have them fixed there. Okay, so to do this, instead of putting this item in the on build, because every time we refresh, we need to do that to change the items. So we're going to put these items outside the on build, and then we're going to put here our what? Our init state. So in this init state is where we can add more items here at this level. You may not shuffle if you want the items to be the same. Okay, so that's the difference. So the item will be kind of static. Okay, so that's the first thing that we've done. So after doing this, the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to initialize the context. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do now is now to add the adapter. The adapter already added, and then we're going to write the function called on reorder. So on reorder, it's going to be responsible of doing what? Of updating the status that we have finished ordering the what? The item. You update the status. So it's going to be a function that's going to be implemented here that will be calling to update the list after you have ordered. Okay, because the state cannot access from the other side of the adapter. So we go ahead and create this function, call it on reorder. You can call it anything that you're going to be passing to our adapter here. So instead of passing on click, we can pass on what? On reorder. Alright, we pass on reorder. So when someone are reordering, after reordering from the other side, let's say that after I've reordered, this function, its purpose will be just to do what? To set status or to update the status. Okay, set state. So that are the two things that we're taking. So if you want, you can pass even multiple functions. You can pass the on click, you can pass as many as you want. But here I'm just passing one, that after someone has finished ordering, I should do what? I should set state. I should update state from this side of the what? Of the user interface. Alright, so So let's go ahead and now design the adapter. So instead of having here on click, let's go ahead to adapter. So instead of having here on click, we're going to change this one to on reorder. You can call it anything, eh? So let me go ahead and change this one to what? To on reorder instead of on click. So just come here and create a function. On reorder. So instead of having on click, I'm going to put here on reorder. So this dot on reorder. So it will be called every time we do what? We finish reordering. Okay. Then after doing that, then we go ahead and do what? And create this get view method. This get view method is going to be a little bit different. Okay. So let us first remove these warnings. So we remove this this builder, so it's just initialize the items and the reorder. Okay, so after doing these things, the next thing that we're going to do now is to return now the list that is reordering, that can be reordered. Okay, so I'm going to remove this get widget. You know, this get item widget is the one that is responsible for returning back the items, eh? So I've removed it. I'm going to show you how we design something that can be reordered. So to design something that can be reordered, we have to return back this method called reorderable list view. So instead of returning list view builder, we're going to return a method called reorderable list view. Okay, so let's go ahead and return reorderable list view. Then it must take children. Okay, so we have to put the function that should be called when we reorder. So it's our function here. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a function that should do the logic when the items are being reordered. Okay, so I put it here. It's going to be called on reorder. So it's going to take the index, the old index, or the old position of an item where it was, and the new position. Let me repeat. This reorder, the orderable list view, it will go ahead when someone finishes reordering an item, it will go ahead and give you the old position and the new position of new index. That's what it will give you. Okay, so we check if the position is not the same, we go ahead and remove item where it was, and then after removing it, we insert it to the new index. We remove it to its old index and we insert it in its new index. And then after, we call this reorder function, which is going to call the front function in the screen to update the status. I repeat, this reorder function will be called when a user finishes reordering, and it will give you the new index, the old index and the new index. So what we do, we first get the old index and put it somewhere. After putting it somewhere, we go ahead and remove the index where it was. I mean the item where it was. After removing it, and we insert it in a new position, and then after we say this reorder. We call the reorder function that was passed here, that the list should be updated. So here we've finished the screen, the reorder. So the next that it's going to take, it is now going to take the scroll direction. This is optional. We can say the scroll direction should be vertical. Then the next thing we're going to take is going to take now the children or the items. So this children is we are going to generate the list. So children, we're going to put now the dynamic list. It's going to be list.generate, list.generate, and then here we pass the length of the list as the first parameter, and then here it's going to loop as it is doing what? As it is creating the index. Okay, so inside this one we're just going to do what? Remove this and put a function like this. Or in this function is where we're going to return the what? The user interface. Okay, item tile. So we're going to create our what? Our item tile, or you can call it maybe item widget or item user interface. We're going to create our own. Let's go ahead and remove the one that we have here. We're going to create a fresh one. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a fresh one. So come here and create. Now this is the interface. So it's going to be a class that's going to be stateless widget that we're going to call item tile, as you can see here. Okay, so it has redesigned that item tile. Item tile is going to take these things like the way it was taking in the previous time. These basic items. Okay, after that it's going to take the constant and the constructor. So the constructor is going to take the what? The main key, and that's going to take the index and the object. So this is the user interface itself. Okay, then in the build we're going to return a what? We're going to return a column. In here we're going to return a what? A column. Okay, and then this column is going to take children. Okay, so we're going to return list tile. List tile, you know it, it's a Flutter widget. List tile, that's going to have a what? It's going to have a key. So a key is very important. So this list tile, give it a key. Remove this constant. All right, they take a key. So the key will help to uniquely identify the what? The item. Okay, so the next thing is going to take a what? A leading, which is going to be our image. Okay, go ahead and put the leading of our image, and then the next thing is going to take the title, which is going to be our text. Okay, and then the next thing is going to take now the trailing, and it's going to be the item that will be dragging. Okay, dragging here, the tail. So this one is going to just be an icon that someone will be able to drag. So the old item will be able to do what? To be draggable if someone perform the draggable gesture. So this is our simple what? Our user interface, and then return maybe a divider after the what? After this list tile, so it can be able to be divided. You understand? So you can pause the video and look at that user interface. Okay, I think that's all. So when you save, everything should be okay. So when I move, you know, the emulator has you see, you first long press and then you move. You see, I can move, I can adapt. Okay, you see, I can able to rearrange my items. So you can think of an idea where you may need to do what? To rearrange your items, and then you'll be able to do what? To implement it accordingly. So you can pause the video and look at how we've approached it step by step. In simple terms, the user interface in this side, the front of a list, is just almost the same. The only thing that we just removed is the on click. However, you can add also on click. You can be creative and add on click So you don't change anything, but you have also, you don't click. So this is reorder that will be called every time that someone does what? Someone create an order. So you can use this brain, these knowledges, all of them, you put them together to come up with what? With different ideas, and also it also helps you to do what? To increase your what? Your experience. All right, that's it for this session. Let's meet in the next session. In the next session, we'll just do 30 minutes. So we're going to have how many minutes? They're going to be 7 minutes of a break, and then we come for the very last session, which is going to take like 30 minutes, and then we call it a day. So at exactly 10, exactly 10, yeah, at exactly 10, we should all be back for the very, very last session. And don't miss, in that session is where we're going to look at we're going to look at the swiping, where someone can be able to swipe like this, and we remove an item. And also maybe we'll also be able to look at the at the multi selection of an item. So don't miss in that session. So let's go ahead and have a break of how many minutes? 6 minutes. At exactly 10, we should be back for the very last session.